And then Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. As he came into the world, a light emerged from her and lit the horizons. The idols around the Kaaba trembled and fell. In distant lands, the fire of Persia that had burnt for 1,000 years was extinguished. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My beloved brothers and sisters, today we continue our journey through the most blessed life ever lived. The life of Muhammad, peace be upon him. The light sent to guide hearts back to Allah. But his story does not begin with revelation, nor with the prophecy, nor with the first words of the Quran. It begins with mercy before birth. In the quiet valleys of Mecca, beneath the watch of ancient mountains, Allah was preparing a miracle. A child chosen before time, a heart protected before it ever beat, a light carried from one pure soul to another. This was not simply a birth. It was the unfolding of a promise that mercy would return to the world. So come with me. Let us return to that night, the night when the world changed without armies, without trumpets, without noise, only light, soft, pure and divine. In the sacred city of Mecca, between the mountains that touch the sky, Allah's decree was unfolding with perfect harmony. The story that began with Zamzam and the vow of sacrifice was leading toward light, a light that would soon illuminate the world. Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib, noble in lineage and pure in heart, was chosen to marry Amina binti Wahab, a woman of honor and purity. When they were wed, the light of prophethood shone within him, and when he came to her, that light was transferred to her womb, a light that would soon bring mercy to mankind. Not long after Abdullah set out on a journey to trade in the land of Asham, on his way back, he fell ill in the town of Yathrib, what would later become Al-Madinah. And there, his soul returned to his Lord. Amina was left a widow, carrying in her womb the most honored child creation would ever know. She would often feel that light move within her and dream of a brilliance that reached the palaces of Busra in Syria. In her dream, a voice said, "You carry the master of this nation." It was the 12th night of Rabi' al-Awwal. The skies over Mecca were calm, the stars gleaming like pearls. Amina felt the moment arrive. There was no pain like other women's pain, rather a peace, a stillness. And then Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. As he came into the world, a light emerged from her and lit the horizons. The idols around the Kaaba trembled and fell. In distant lands, the fire of Persia that had burnt for 1,000 years was extinguished. His mother saw his face glowing like the moon and heard his voice say, "May Allah have mercy on you. O Amina, the Lord of all worlds has blessed you with the leader of humanity." When his grandfather Abdul Muttalib heard the news, he hurried to her home, his heart trembling with joy. He lifted the child, pressed him to his chest, and entered the Kaaba, raising him toward the sky in gratitude. "I name him Muhammad," he said, "so that he will be praised in the heavens and the earth." Amina nursed him for a few days and then sought a wet nurse from the tribes of Banu Sa'd, who came to Mecca in search of infants to raise among the desert air. Among them was Halima as-Sa'diyah, whose family suffered from drought and hunger. Her donkey was weak, Her she-camel gave no milk, and her own child cried from thirst. Every other mother found a child to nurse except her. None wished to take an orphan. She said to her husband, "By Allah, I will take that orphan boy, for perhaps Allah will bless." From the moment she held him, blessings poured upon them. Her breast overflowed with milk. Her camel gave in abundance. And the wind seemed softer upon their path. The weak donkey that lagged behind now outran the other beasts in the caravan. Her husband looked at her and said, "Halima, this child has brought us a blessed fortune." Back in the valley of Banu Sa'd, the barakah only grew. The flocks multiplied, the land revived, and every heart around the child found peace. He grew strong and beautiful. And wherever he crawled, light seemed to follow him. One day, while he played with his foster brother, behind the tents, two men dressed in white appeared. They laid him down gently, opened his chest, and removed a small black clot, saying, "This was the portion of shaitan within you." They then washed the heart with the water of Zamzam. As the angels purified his heart, the words of Allah would later echo that moment of purity. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Successful indeed is the one who purifies the soul, and doomed is the one who corrupts it. Surah Ash-Shams. When the children ran to Halima crying, "Muhammad has been killed," she raced out in fear and found him pale but unharmed. She held him close, tears in her eyes, and said, "My son, what happened?" He replied softly, "Two men came to me, opened my chest, and purified my heart." She and her husband knew this was no ordinary child. Fearing harm, she returned him to his mother in Mecca. Amina welcomed her son with joy, and they lived peacefully for a time. When he was 6 years old, she took him to Yathrib. On the way back, she fell ill at a place called Al-Abwa. With gentle hands, she held her child close and whispered, "Every living soul shall taste death, but Allah will never forsake you." And there she passed away, leaving the boy in the care of her servant, Ayman. Alone yet not alone, for Allah was with him, guarding him with his protection. In kullu nafsin lamma alayha hafiz. There is no soul but that it has a guardian watching over it. His grandfather Abdul Muttalib wept when he saw the orphan child and said, "He is more beloved to me than my own soul." He would seat the boy beside him on the mat of honor near the Kaaba. And when others tried to move him away, he said, "Leave my son. He has his own greatness." But when Muhammad, peace be upon him, was 8 years old, his grandfather too returned to his Lord. With love and trust, he was placed under the guardianship of his uncle Abu Talib, the man who would protect him for the rest of his life. Abu Talib raised him as his own. They traveled together to Syria when the Prophet, peace be upon him, was still a boy. On that journey, near the town of Busra, a Christian monk named Bahira saw signs in the young boy's face. He invited them to a meal and examined the mark between his shoulders, the seal of prophethood. Turning to Abu Talib, he warned, "Protect this boy from the Jews, for he will be a prophet sent to the worlds." Years passed. The boy grew into youth, strong, pure, and thoughtful. He never bowed to idols, never joined the games of sin, never uttered falsehood. His people came to call him Al-Amin, the trustworthy. In him were gathered the noblest traits, mercy, humility, and truth, preparing him for revelation yet to come. And so Allah's mercy upon him was already written, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And we have not sent you, O Muhammad, peace be upon him, except as a mercy to all creation. Join me tomorrow as we begin the next chapter, the journey to prophethood, the years of truth and trust, and the first signs of revelation that would change the world forever.